Yeah, Arvind.
Yep.
Yeah. So I made you organizer. Yeah, you already started recording. Okay. So today we'll just discuss about various database objects. Okay.
Okay.
So there are different varieties of database objects are possible in Oracle.
Mm-hmm.
There are different varieties of database objects are possible. Just so far we understand about table,
Mm-hmm.
creating a table, inserting, working with table, all the ways we understand, right?
Mm-hmm.
Apart from the table, we have other database objects also, like view,
Mm-hmm.
sequence, synonym, index. These are the various other database objects are possible, available. We can work with in database. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, already you know in PLSQL, stored procedures, functions, these all things also treated as database objects.
Right.
Okay. But as of the SQL concern, apart from the table, we have view, sequence, index, synonym. These are the various database objects. Okay.
Okay.
So table already we done.
Mm-hmm.
Then now let us understand about a synonym. What is a synonym? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is very simple one.
Mm-hmm.
So synonym is simply another name of the table. Okay. So already in select statements, we worked with alias names, right?
Right.
Alias name is only works for that particular select statement. It is not a permanent name of another name of the table.
Got it.
It's a temporary one, which is an another name of the table, which only works for that particular table, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is alias name. But here synonym is a database object that is created for a table that is an another name of the table, right?
Okay.
Okay, that is what synonym. So just you see, I'm connecting here to the database. I started my virtual machine. Okay. So here I am connecting to Scott user.
Mm-hmm.
See here I'm writing a select statement, that is select star from tab. These all are the various tables I have, right?
Mm-hmm.
See here I have a table that is PRODTBL, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise EMP underscore DEPT, I have a table. I can use select star from EMP underscore DEPT. It gives all the data in the table.
Right.
Select star from emp underscore dept is the table. This is the table. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I want to create a synonym for this table.
Okay.
The command is create synonym. Synonym name emp dept cpy. I'm giving. Okay. Otherwise, yeah. emp dept lnk. I'm giving the name of the synonym. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
table emp underscore dept. Synonyms, SYNAN. Just let us check what is the spelling of the synonym. This is sequence. Yes, SYNONYM. Okay, here synonym is created.
Mhm.
But here EMP, DEPT, LNK itself is not a table. Okay,
Right.
it is just another name of this table, EMP, DEPT. EMP, DEPT is the original table. This EMP, DEPT, LNK is another name of the table. Okay.
Mhm.
See, just I am going for select star from cat, means catalog, to see list of the database objects. See, EMP, DEPT is a table, right?
Mhm.
Here we have somewhere EMP, DEPT, LNK is the synonym. Understand?
Okay.
Suppose if you access the data from select star from EMP, DEPT, LNK, just like a table you can use. It just gives the data from EMP, DEPT. Okay, you can insert the data, you can update the data, you can delete the data, you can work with this name. It is a synonym, okay, another name of the table. Understand?
Yeah.
Yeah. See here, the synonyms. Synonyms is called as second name of the name and short name of the table. Okay.
Mhm.
So generally what we do is instead of granting permissions on table directly, we'll create a synonym and we will grant privileges on the synonym to the another user. Okay. So that will become a very easy. This is the syntax of creating a synonym. Okay. And once the synonym is created, to work with that, you just consider that as a table and you can work like a table. Okay.
Okay.
This is
So,
what.
Srinu, what is the advantage?
Advantage is the self joins will become easy, one thing,
Mm-hmm.
and as well synonym for permissions granting. Suppose I granted permissions to you on a table.
Okay.
Due to some reason, I supposed to give all the privileges, or you might have some DBA privileges, or something like that. I
Okay.
gave all the privileges to you. In such case, what happens? You can drop the table also. There is a possibility, right? If the privileges are there. Instead of that, if I create a synonym for the table which I supposed to grant to you, and I gave you privileges on the synonym, then you don't know that is a synonym, right?
Right.
So for you, it is like a table. You can write like select star from Scott dot that name, synonym name. You will consider that as a table and you will be working. By mistake or intentionally, even unwanted commands are executed, something will be eliminated and it will be secured for access.
Okay.
That is the reason. And it is an another name. So parallelly, you can one person can use the table name and one person can use the synonym and you can work. See, in the joins, self join we have seen. For the same table, we want to access that as a two different copies. At the time also, you can use it.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly for the self join, we doesn't use the synonym. We will use the alias name only. But mostly while granting the privileges, instead of directly giving permissions on the table, we'll give permissions on the synonym.
Okay.
Okay. Mostly we'll use it for that.
Mm-hmm.
And another one, employee table. In the employee table, employee number is a column, right?
Right.
So once you understand in real-time perspective, each and every time whenever a new employee is joined, you are making entry of the new employee details. You're supposed to give a new unique number.
Mm-hmm.
So manually remembering the previous number and giving the new number will become very difficult, right?
Right.
Yeah. Not only the employee number, any serial number or something like product number, customer number, anything like that.
Okay.
So here, sequence is a database object which is used to generate the values in a sequential order. Very simple. Sequence also very simple.
Mm-hmm.
Sequence is a database object which is used to generate the numbers in a sequential order. Suppose I create a sequence in my database, a sequence object is created. Suppose name of this sequence is, for example, SEQ1 is the name of this sequence, right? Okay. What is the minimum value? What is the maximum value? So this is the range. Suppose I specify minimum value is 1, maximum value is 9999. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is the range. Just I specified a range here. Okay. And as well, when I'm accessing the sequence, it should be increment. Okay. Increment by 1 means 1 by 1 value, it should be increment. Of course, if you are expecting 2 values increment, something like 1, 2, 4, or 1, 3, 5, something like that, or 3 values increment. So how many values increment should be happen every time? You can specify increment by, suppose I specify increment by 1. Okay.
Okay.
And initially starting with what? Initially starting with 1 means the range is 1 to 9999. Initially it starts with 1, and every time you access the synonym sequence, it will increase 1 by 1 value. Okay. Like this, I can specify sequence. Whenever I'm trying to access a number from sequence, it gives you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that sequence numbers it gives you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Need not to remember the values manually, just create a sequence for employee number. So every time you are giving, just give the sequence name, that's enough. Automatically it generates the number and give it to you. Okay.
Okay.
This is what a sequence. Understand?
Yeah, it's like order by, is it what in the select?
No, no, no. Order by class is already data is there in the table.
Right.
You want to display the data in ascending order or descending order, that is order by class.
Right.
But here you want to give data into the table or some sequential numbers you want to generate. For that purpose, sequence. Just for serial number generation.
Okay, so while updating the database, if you want to generate for any column, given column, sequential numbers, you will use this.
Yeah, instead of giving numbers in the manual, we can access from the sequence. The sequential number, serial number will be maintained properly.
Okay, okay, okay.
That is what sequence.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
See, the syntax of creating a sequence: create sequence, sequence name.
Mm-hmm.
Suppose I'm creating a sequence. Create sequence, sequence name, something JSR SEQ1 is the name of the sequence I'm giving.
Okay.
So I'm creating object sequence. So create sequence, sequence name, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here you see min value. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Min value is an attribute of the sequence. So here I am specifying min value. Min value means what is the lowest range, the lowest boundary of the range. Suppose I am giving min value 100. Of course, you can give 1, 2, 3, 0, anything you can give, but here I am giving 100, suppose.
Okay.
Okay. And similarly, max value I am giving 99999. Okay. This is the max value.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you can give any number, but here I am giving 1000 is the max value. Okay. So here I specify min value 100, max value is 1000. There is a range. Okay. Then you see start with. So what is the initial value? You are starting with what? Start with 101. Means initially I want to begin with 101. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then increment by. Okay. Increment by 1. So these attributes already you understand, right?
Yep.
Increment by, start with, min value, max value, these things I understand. Here you can specify cycle or no cycle. Okay, here you can specify cycle. Otherwise, you can also specify no cycle. So by default is no cycle. Even though you are not specifying anything, by default is no cycle. Okay. So what is the difference between if you specify cycle, if you does not specify cycle? What is difference between cycle and no cycle? So by default it is no cycle. Initially it starts from 101, then in each and every time it generates the value one by one. So 101, 102, 103 like this. Okay.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Assume that already it is reached 999, 999, then 1000. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
1000 is generated. After that, the sequence life is over. No more values to generate, right?
Right.
That in case of no cycle. In case of cycle, once it reach 1000, then it go back to beginning. It is again recycle from the beginning. That is 100, right?
Okay.
It goes to min value back. Go back to min value. That is what if you specify cycle. Cycle, no cycle. That is the meaning of option cycle, no cycle. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And one more option is there, that is cache. Cache means it will you specify the cache size. Okay, cache 20 means it will occupy the buffer cache size. So it will occupy the cache, it will generate all the numbers and put it in the cache. So it will access the numbers from the cache. Okay.
Okay.
So if you specify cache, it will little bit speed up the value generation. That's it. No cache means no matter of cache. They each and every time pick the value from sequence directly. That is no cache. Understand?
Mm-hmm.
So size of the cache 20, cache 50, like that you can specify. Okay.
Okay.
Order, no order means it is just putting the values in the order. That's it. It's optional actually. So actually these all are optional only. So here I am giving values like min value 100, max value 1000, start with 101, increment by 1. I am not specifying further. I am not specifying cycle or no cycle. So by default it takes no cycle. I am not specifying cache, no cache. By default it takes no cache, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now sequence is created. Sequence object is created. JSR SEQ1 sequence object is created. Now, if you want to access the sequence object, you have pseudo columns like sequence name. How to access one by one number from the sequence? Pseudo columns like sequence name JSR SEQ1 dot next val generates next val attribute, actually generates a new number each and every time. 101 is generated. Again, if you execute, it generates 102. Again, if you execute, it generates 103. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Suppose I'm executing select this next val, comma, empno, comma ename from EMP. Whenever I am using from EMP, 14 values, how many records are there? That many records will be generated. So here 103 is over. So from 104 onwards, it's reach 123, right?
Right.
Are you clear? Like this. Like this, you can use within the select statement. Otherwise, I am trying to insert the data into some table. For example, insert into EMP values bracket begin. Here I supposed to give employee number. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
JSR SEQ1 dot next val comma employee number something. This is employee number. Next employee name is Arvind. Then job is something like manager. Then hire date is on so sys date and so on. Like this we can specify. Okay.
Okay.
At the time this will generate a new number and put the number in the employee table, right?
Yep.
So this next val you can use either insert command or update command. Wherever you want to generate the new number, you can use it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So here there is one more, that is curval. Select sequence name dot curval. Curval means current value of the sequence.
Mm-hmm.
So where exactly it is? It is ended with 123. Current value is 123, right?
Right.
Always it gives you current value only. If you give next val, it generates the new number, right?
Right.
You understand what is difference between next val and curval?
Right.
Now I went to 127. What is the curval now? 127. How many times you execute curval? The same value it gives. What is the current position of the sequence? That will be given by the curval. This is how we can access the sequence, right?
Mm-hmm.
We can work with the sequence and we can here in the document we have very clearly what do you mean increment by min value, no min value, max value, no max value, start with cycle, no cycle, cache, no cache. What is the significance of each and every option is given here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Create
So,
command for
how
sequence.
do you get to one again? Or
Okay, please.
101?
No, but going back, no option, only forward movement.
Oh, okay.
If you specify if you specify cycle, once it reach the max value, then it will go back to min value.
Mm-hmm.
But only the option. You intentionally, if you want to set back to 101, it's not possible. Drop the sequence and create the other sequence with the same name.
Okay, okay.
Okay?
Basically, you can use the sequence for indexing or something like that, right? Like for that record.
No, no. Here indexes are there, but unique value generation.
Unique value generation. Okay.
For that purpose, we'll use these sequences.
Hmm.
Serial number
So if the record doesn't have any kind of uh
duplicates.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's for if you don't want to take duplicates, you don't want to entertain in any manner, use the sequences. So without major efforts or manual efforts, automatically sequence will generate the value.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this is next val and cur val. This is how you can in the insert statement how to use this sequence.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How to access cur val using select statement. Okay. This is insert statement. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So here sequence name is used, right? If you want to modify the sequence description, you can modify like this: alter sequence name, any attribute if you want to modify. Suppose you want to increase change the min value, change the max value, change the increment by any option. If you want to change, alter command you can use like this:
Mm-hmm.
alter sequence name and attributes you can specify. Okay, so existing sequence will be modified. Okay.
Okay.
If you use alter command, existing sequence will be modified. That is alter sequence, sequence name. Alter command with the sequence. So if you want to drop the sequence, drop sequence, sequence name. Very simple. If you want to drop the synonym, drop synonym, synonym name. Okay.
Okay.
So always drop command is very simple. Drop table, table name, drop sequence, sequence name, like this. Drop synonym, synonym name, drop view, view name, any object, drop procedure, procedure name. Okay, like this. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is regarding the sequence, Arvind. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So next, very important thing for us is view. Okay, what is a view? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So remember that view is not a table. Okay.
Oh.
One more statement I am telling you, view is not a original table. Okay. View is not a table. View is not a original table. So here I can say view is a kind of imaginary table. Okay.
Okay.
View is a kind of imaginary table. View is a database object. View is a database object that present in your database. View is a database object that present in your database. But view is created based on a table, right? You understand now?
Mm-hmm.
View is created based on a table. But view is not an original table. View is an imaginary table. Okay. Here we will create a view using a select statement. Understand?
Mm-hmm.
View is created based on a select statement. See, one thing is view is useful for two purposes. One is data hiding. Second one is simplifying the queries. Okay, Arvind.
Yep.
View is advantage with view. One is data hiding. Second one is simplifying the queries. For example, you see, you know about subqueries, correlated subqueries.
Yep.
So sometimes we will write very lengthy queries, 20 lines queries also we will write sometimes. Single query only, but it is very complex, lengthy query. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So every time you want to execute that query and you want to utilize that query, that lengthy query, complex query always become complex to you for regular use, right? For repeated use, right?
Right.
So in case you create a view using a select statement, simply you can use select star from view name, right?
Mm-hmm.
See, for example, this is the table, one table, okay? This is the view you are creating, okay? For example, this is table 1, TBL1, okay? This is view. This is VW1, okay?
Okay.
In this view, I already telling you that view is created on a select statement, right?
Mm-hmm.
Select blah, 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 okay? From TBL1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let it be any select statement. Please understand, let it be any select statement. But we are querying the TBL1. That means this view is created based on TBL1. Understand?
Mm-hmm.
If you access view, if you access the view, it will show you the data belongs to TBL1. It's base table. Understand? The result of the select statement, it will show you. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
This is what simply view, right?
Mm-hmm.
See, the complex select statement I can specify here, but whenever I am trying to access the data from the view, I can simply write select star from BW1, right? The complex select statement will become very simple or not. Okay? Do you understand, Arvind?
Yep. Yep.
Suppose the select statement inside the view is very complex. It is having 20 lines statement, something like that. But once the view is created, once the view is available, view is using that select statement, you are trying to access the view, select star from view name. So the 20 lines select statement becomes simple because a view is already created. Whenever you access the view, internal select statement will be processed and that will get the data and display the result. So simplifying the select statement is one of the advantage. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Second one is hiding the data. Suppose the select statement which I have given in the view that is not showing all the columns of the table, right? Suppose in the table 200 columns are there. In the view you have specified only 15 columns. So whenever you access the view, it will show data of 15 columns only. Understand?
Yep.
And moreover, okay, sorry. So here select statement you can use selectively few columns only you can specify. You can use where class, right?
Mm-hmm.
For example, you see in the TBL1 I have 200 columns, but here I am retrieving the select statement I specified only 15 columns. And moreover I specified where class. So the data is restricted or not? The restricted data cannot be viewed from the view, right?
Yep.
Understanding. So data hiding also possible. For example, suppose you are the another user, suppose I am the HR manager. So my database is HR database. In the HR database, I have employee table. Okay.
Okay.
You are the operations manager. So of course, I need to share employee data with you. Okay. But all the data I don't want to share. Only limited information I want to share with you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, something like you assume that I am a company one, you are company two, and we have an agreement between us. The employee details will exchange, and as well, employees also will exchange. Due to some reason, we have an agreement, right? So accordingly, I have to share my employee details to you.
Okay.
Okay, of course, same database we will keep, and employee data will be there in my schema. I will be share with you that you will access
Mm-hmm.
different user accounts. So in such case, whatever employee details means I have totally 1,000 employees. I don't want to show you the 1,000 employee details. I want to show only 400 employee. I want to show you, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to hide the data. So at the time, instead of granting privileges on the table, you create a view and apply whatever restrictions. Some columns you don't want to show, where class you want to apply, you apply. Then grant the permissions on the view. Other user can access the data from the view, but he cannot see all the data in the table. He can see only limited data. Okay.
Got it.
So for the operations, you can treat view like a table. So using view, you can insert the data. Using view, you can update the data. Using view, you can delete the data, right?
Mm-hmm.
But view is not a table. View does not occupy any table space. Okay.
Okay.
View is not a table. View is not occupying any table space. View does not hold any data. So whatever you insert, whatever you update, whatever you delete, it will be reflected in its base table. Understand?
Yep.
That is what exactly view. Do you understand what is view exactly?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See here, there are two types of views. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
One is simple view, second one is complex view.
Okay.
So till now my explanation and your understanding, everything is towards the simple view.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, your view is having single base table. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Directly what are the columns available in the table? The same columns appears in the view also. Okay, of course you might be hiding some columns, you might be hiding some records. Of course, let it be. But still, columns those are appearing in the view, they are directly taken from the view. This is what simple view. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
For example, in your select statement, you are using some functions, some mathematical operations. So some additional columns are generated by the select statement, right?
Mm-hmm.
For example, in the employee table, you have employee number, employee name, job, MGR, hire date, salary, commission, department number. But here I am using some calculations, something like gross salary, tax, net salary, HRA, DA, these things are calculated. Those are additional columns, right?
Right.
Those columns are produced by the select statement. Those columns are not available in the EMP table or the base table originally, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is a complex view. Okay.
Okay.
Suppose your select statement is having group functions, group by classes, etc. So the columns available in the table is different. The data appear, columns appear in the view is different, right?
Right. Right.
Because group functions, group by classes we have used.
Mm-hmm.
So in that case also this view is a complex view. In case the select statement is join select statement, the view is created based on multiple base tables, right?
Mm-hmm.
Means you are creating a view using a query select statement. There is a join that is having joins, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you write the join query, definitely you should take the 2 or 3 tables, right? Multiple tables, right?
Right.
This select statement I am using to create a view. View is created on such join select statement. So view is created on multiple base tables, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in such case, the view is a complex view. Understand?
Yep.
So here generally most of the people makes the view very complex, Arvind.
Mm-hmm.
Understand? But very simple. View created using select statement. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Any select statement you use, let it be a simple select statement or a join select statement, subqueries, correlated, so any technique you can use. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But what are the column names and the column names in the view, column names in the table, both are matching. The select statement is not having much middle level processing. Directly columns are given in the view. That is simple view.
Mm-hmm.
Single base table, direct columns given to the view.
Yep.
View. But any mid-level processing is taken place, either you use functions or calculations, group functions, group by class, joins, multiple base tables in this case. So then this goes to complex view. Okay.
Yep.
If your view is a simple view, you can insert the data, you can update the data, you can delete the data. Insert, update, delete. DML commands are possible on simple view. DML commands are not possible on a complex view. Okay.
Yep.
DML commands are possible in simple view. DML commands are not possible in a complex view.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is what the simply concepts of view. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Here in your material you have about what is view. Okay. What is the advantage with view? How to create a view. See, create view name as select statement. Any select statement you can use, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then select columns list from view, where class you can apply anything. You can update, delete, anything you can do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, these all things are there. Of course, I will explain these all things again. Don't worry.
Okay.
So now views concept you understand, right?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So next we have to complete this views concept, and we have to learn most important thing, one more, that is indexes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Views and indexes we'll discuss tomorrow, Arvind, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you can go through this document. So rest of the practical thing we see on views and indexes we'll discuss tomorrow.
Yep. So that whatever materialized view that will come into this concept.
Yeah, yeah, I will tell you that later.
Okay. Okay.
Okay?
Okay. Sure. Yep.
Okay, Arvind. Thank you. See you
Yep.
tomorrow.
Thanks. Yeah. Bye.